Welcome back. You thought women wanted a handsome, well-mannered, well-paid man who texted goodnight. Sorry, women don't want that. They want something deeper, darker, more addictive. They want a man who makes them feel something they can't quite put into words. Not gifts, not promises, not "you're the one." They want something that only a man who truly understands himself, is emotionally centered, and doesn't need approval can give them. And in this video, you'll learn exactly what those 8 things are and how to never be the guy she texts back when she's free. Number 1, she doesn't want promises, she wants presence. You say, "I'll always be there for you." She hears, "You're not really here now." That's the paradox most men don't understand. We think words build trust. That saying the right thing at the right time will make her feel safe. But for a woman who feels deeply, words are just empty wrappers unless they're wrapped around presence. And presence, you can't fake that. She knows the difference between your lips saying "I care" and your eyes saying "I'm somewhere else." You've seen it. You're at dinner. You're physically there, but your phone is buzzing. Your mind is on tomorrow's meeting or yesterday's mistake. She says she's fine, but something shifts. The sparkle in her eye dulls. Her tone cools. You didn't yell. You didn't offend. But you weren't present. And she felt it. That's all it takes. According to Rice and Shaver, 1988, emotional connection is rooted not in what you say you'll do, but in how fully you are when you're together. Future promises lack weight because they don't meet her in the one moment that matters. Now, you could say you'll always love her, that you'll change, that you'll show up next time, but if she can't feel you here this second, it all dissolves into noise. Presence is not about intensity, it's about steadiness, masculine steadiness, the kind that doesn't flinch when she's emotional, the kind that doesn't rush to solve things just to end the discomfort. Presence says, "I'm here, fully, and I'm not moving." That's rare, that's magnetic. Let's bring this down to earth. She's opening up about something difficult, maybe her anxiety, her fears, her family. You resist the urge to fix it. You listen, you breathe with her, and when you finally speak, you say, "I get that. Tell me more." That's not a solution, that's space. And space, when it's held with presence, is healing. Or maybe she's being reactive. She says something sharp, a test maybe. Most men snap back or retreat. You lean in, grounded. You say, "I'm still here." Say what you need to say. No drama, no defensiveness, just unwavering calm. That's what she remembers. Not the apology you gave later, but the moment you stood your ground with warmth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Confine yourself to the present." In those 5 words lies the masculine art of emotional leadership. When you are fully in the moment, you become an anchor in her emotional sea, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. She can feel your attention, your calm, your decision to stay. Kabat-Zinn 1990 found that conscious presence increases emotional resonance. In plain English, when you're fully present, people feel safer around you, women especially, because in a world of distractions and shallow gestures, your focus becomes a rare gift. So the next time you want her to trust you, don't make another promise. Put your phone down, breathe, look at her, and be where your feet are. Then say less, because your presence is louder than any vow. Now comment below, "I lead with presence, not promises." Number 2, masculine polarity, the silent force that draws her in. You think she wants emotional closeness, so you share more, you open up quickly, you talk about your fears, your doubts, how fragile life has felt lately. She listens, nods, smiles even, but then something shifts. Her energy pulls back, her attention wanders, and you wonder, what went wrong? I thought I was doing the right thing. Here's the truth. You didn't do anything wrong. You just forgot one essential rule of attraction, masculine polarity. Attraction, real attraction, isn't built on sameness. It thrives on contrast. on the energetic dance between masculine presence and feminine expression. When you try to mirror her emotionality to connect, you don't bring her closer, you collapse the polarity. And when polarity disappears, so does desire. Psychologist David Buss, 1989, calls this evolved preference. Women, whether consciously or not, are biologically wired to be drawn to what feels opposite but complementary. Feminine energy is fluid, emotional, ever-changing. Masculine energy is steady, focused, directed. When you embody this steadiness, especially when her emotions are swirling, you don't just earn respect, you trigger primal attraction. Imagine this. She's upset, anxious, maybe even irrational. The inexperienced man tries to soothe her by matching her energy. I feel that way too. He panics when she raises her voice. He fumbles for validation. He starts chasing her emotional rhythm like a leaf in the wind. And she unconsciously starts to lose faith. But the grounded man, the one who understands masculine polarity, meets her storm with stillness. He listens without trying to fix. He breathes instead of reacting. And when she says something sharp or provocative, he smiles with calm strength and says, "Are you testing me again?" He holds his frame, and because he does, she relaxes, not because he said the perfect thing, but because he didn't crumble. This is what Epictetus meant when he said, "Do not let what is outside of your control disturb your inner peace." He wasn't just talking about life's chaos, he was talking about emotional leadership, about remaining unmoved when others expect you to sway. Women don't want you to mirror their feminine energy. They want you to balance it, not by dominating, not by suppressing, but by being the calm eye in their emotional storm. Real masculinity isn't loud. It doesn't have to prove itself. It's the quiet, stable presence that says, "I know who I am, and I'm not here to be swayed." In practice, this means staying in your frame. When she gets emotional, you don't chase resolution, you offer steadiness. When she's uncertain, you don't demand clarity, you provide direction. When she's testing, you don't retaliate, you remain playful. You become the mountain, not the wind. Modern psychology supports this. Buss and Shackelford, 1997, found that the strongest attraction arises when masculine and feminine roles remain energetically distinct, not because of gender stereotypes, but because polarity creates tension, and tension creates desire. So the next time you feel tempted to open up in the name of closeness, ask yourself, am I connecting or collapsing the polarity? And when she challenges you, don't fold. Smile, breathe, stay still, because that stillness, it's what she's really looking for. It's what makes you unforgettable. Now comment below, I am the calm in her storm. Number 3, emotional control is irresistible. Emotional chaos isn't. You think showing your emotions makes you real, raw, honest. But here's the uncomfortable truth most men don't want to hear. Women aren't drawn to your unfiltered emotional outbursts. They're drawn to your ability to hold your center when everything else wants to pull you off course. She doesn't want a robot, but she definitely doesn't want to feel like your emotional babysitter either. When a woman takes longer to reply, cancels plans last minute, or goes cold in a conversation, most men spiral. Their minds race. Is she losing interest? Is she with someone else? What did I do wrong? And then the messages start piling in. The tone gets anxious, needy, emotionally charged. That's not vulnerability. That's emotional volatility, and it's unattractive. Psychologist David Buss, 1989, explains that emotional stability is one of the most desired traits in a long-term partner, especially for women. Because while charm and wit can be fun, it's the man who can remain composed under pressure who becomes the one she trusts. When you let your jealousy, anxiety, or frustration control your behavior, what you're really signaling is this: I can't manage my inner world. Now I'm going to make it your job. And trust me, no woman wants that job. On the other hand, when you feel those same emotions but pause, breathe, and respond calmly, you send a completely different message. I've got myself. I don't need you to fix me. I choose to be here, grounded. That is powerful. It's the difference between being emotionally open and emotionally unstable. One invites connection, the other burdens it. Let's look at it in real life. She cancels on you last minute. Instead of reacting with passive-aggressive messages or trying to guilt her, you simply say, "All good. Let me know when you're free next." No neediness, no pushback, just calm, assertive composure. She suddenly gets distant, cold. Maybe she's testing you, or maybe she's overwhelmed. Instead of asking, "Did I do something wrong?" you say, "You seem like you've got a lot on your mind. If you need space, that's okay. I'm here." That's leadership. That's emotional containment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This isn't just ancient wisdom, it's the blueprint for modern masculine confidence. Being emotionally in control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, it means mastering them. Feeling deeply without acting impulsively, knowing that you can be hurt and still stay present. That's what makes you rare. That's what makes her respect you. Because women aren't looking for a man who never feels. They're looking for a man who feels everything but never lets it master him. You don't need to explain your calm. You don't need to justify your silence. You don't even need to defend your boundaries. Just be still, be sure, and watch what happens. Now comment below, "I own my emotions, they don't own me." Number 4, why mystery makes you magnetic and oversharing kills it. There's something undeniably powerful about a man who doesn't lay all his cards on the table. Not because he's hiding anything, but because he doesn't feel the need to be seen all at once. That quiet restraint, that calm self-containment, it doesn't repel women. It pulls them in. Most men confuse vulnerability with verbal diarrhea. They think that by sharing every heartbreak, every plan, every emotion up front, they'll build intimacy faster. But what actually happens? They collapse the mystery, and with it, they crush her curiosity. You don't get closer to a woman by giving her everything too soon. You get closer by giving her just enough, then letting her lean in to learn the rest. According to the scarcity principle Cialdini, 2001, we value what is limited, elusive, and not immediately available. When you're always texting, always explaining, always available, you remove that scarcity, and in doing so, you remove the magnetism. Mystery works because it activates imagination, and imagination is the birthplace of desire. Let's break it down. You go on a first date, and instead of playing it cool, you tell her your whole life story, your childhood trauma, your exes, your career struggles. You think you're building connection, but what you're actually doing is overwhelming her and robbing her of the chance to wonder who you really are. Real attraction isn't just about what she sees, it's about what she wants to see. Now, think about the opposite. She asks about your past, and you say, "There's a lot I could tell you, but I'd rather know what you find most interesting about me so far." Boom, you've just flipped the script. Now she's not just listening, she's invested. Modern research backs this up. A study by Whitchurch, Wilson, and Gilbert 2011 found that people are more romantically interested in someone when they're uncertain about how much the other person likes them. Why? Because uncertainty keeps the emotional tension alive. It makes them think more about you, which in turn makes them feel more. The truth is, what you don't say can be more powerful than what you do. That doesn't mean you play games. It means you have self-respect. You don't overshare, you don't chase, you don't try to prove your worth. Instead, you let her discover it. It's like reading a novel. If someone tells you the ending in chapter 1, there's no point continuing. But if every page gives you just enough to keep turning, the suspense builds. The emotional investment deepens. Women are no different. You want to become unforgettable? Don't try to impress her, intrigue her. Don't tell her what she wants to hear. Say less. Then ask her what she thinks you meant. If she doesn't reply right away, don't double text. Let silence do its work, because when she doesn't know exactly where she stands with you, she'll start thinking about you more, wondering, imagining, and in that wondering, desire is born. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen more and speak less." The man who practices silence with confidence becomes the man who lives in her mind rent-free. So next time you want to be authentic, pause. Ask yourself, am I expressing myself, or am I trying to be validated? Because when you speak with restraint, when you move with calm intention, when you let her feel the space between your words, that's when she starts leaning in. That's when she starts chasing. Now, comment below. I don't reveal everything, I let her earn it. Number 5. Women don't choose men, they feel pulled toward them. You can check every box on her ideal list: kind, stable, respectful, loyal, and still feel invisible. Why? Because women don't fall for qualities, they fall for feelings. This is the mistake most good men make. They believe that if they become the most logical choice, the most responsible option, they'll win her over. But romantic attraction doesn't respond to logic, it responds to emotion. You don't get chosen because you're the best candidate on paper. You get chosen because you pull her in emotionally through your presence, your energy, your confidence, not your resume. According to psychological research by Burscheid and Volster, 1974, emotional arousal, not logical assessment, is the core driver of romantic attraction. It's not about what you offer, it's about what you provoke in her. Curiosity, calm, excitement, mystery, safety, tension. You could be perfect for her life, but if your presence doesn't shift the atmosphere, if your energy doesn't create emotional charge, then you're just invisible. Harmless? Forgettable. She doesn't fall for you because she decides to. She falls for you because she can't help it. That's the difference between being a choice and being a pull. Think about it this way. A museum might be filled with perfect art, but people spend hours in front of the one piece that moves them, that makes them feel something they can't explain. That's you if you stop trying to be chosen and start showing up with presence. So how do you do that? You shift your focus from proving your worth to provoking emotion. Instead of saying, "I'm a reliable guy," you lean back and say, "You seem like someone who doesn't let people in easily. I like that." Boom. Now you've created a moment, curiosity, tension, intrigue. Instead of over-explaining yourself, you ask her opinion on something personal. What's something about the way you see the world that no one else gets? Now you're pulling her into emotional territory far deeper than job titles and weekend plans. If she challenges you, you don't defend. You smile and say, "I like the way you test people. It says something about what matters to you." That's not approval seeking, that's emotional engagement. She feels seen and intrigued. This is what draws her in, not the bullet points on your profile, but the electricity in your energy. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do what's right. Let the result follow." You don't control whether she chooses you. You control whether you live aligned with your values, your confidence, your masculine calm. That is the pull. So stop trying to be the safest choice. Be the man whose presence shifts her state, the man whose voice, whose eye contact, whose energy makes her feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. She doesn't need another nice guy, she needs to feel. She needs a reason to remember you emotionally, not logically. And that only happens when you stop aiming to be her decision and start becoming her magnet. Now comment below. I'm not trying to be chosen, I create the pull. Number 6. The man on a mission is always the most attractive one. Women aren't drawn to availability, they're drawn to direction. It's a truth that shatters modern dating myths. Being there for her, 247, won't win her heart, it'll quietly dissolve your allure. Because the man who always answers, always adapts, always puts her first, is the man who has nothing else anchoring his world. She may not say it aloud, but she feels it. Women are magnetized by men who move towards something larger than romance, a mission, a calling, a vision that defines them far beyond a relationship. It's not selfishness, it's gravitational pull. From an evolutionary lens, this makes sense. According to Buss 1989, women are psychologically wired to be drawn toward men who exhibit ambition and goal orientation. These traits signal stability, protection, and leadership qualities that, throughout human history, meant survival. But beyond biology, this hits something deeper in her emotional core. When you have a direction, you become a world she wants to be part of, not just a man orbiting hers. Contrast that with the man who drops everything to text her all day or skips his morning workout to please her shifting moods. That's not devotion, it's detachment from purpose. And slowly, subtly, it erodes your presence. You might think, but isn't prioritizing her what love looks like? Not quite. True masculine energy invites her into a life already filled with meaning. It doesn't pause its mission to make her feel secure, it makes her feel secure because the mission is unshakable. So what does this look like in practice? If she asks you to reschedule your workout to meet up spontaneously, say, "I've got training tonight, but I'd love to see you Friday." That's not rejection, that's grounded presence. It tells her, I value myself, and I have a direction. If she tests you with coldness or emotional distance, don't spiral. Don't chase. Get back to your path, your book, your work, your breath in the gym. Let her feel your steadiness, not your reactivity. It's in that quiet focus that your true power radiates. You don't earn her attraction by proving how much time you're willing to give up. You earn it by showing her that your time has value because your life has momentum. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, a man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. Your mission isn't a distraction from intimacy, it's the foundation for it. It's what makes her lean in, wondering, where is he going and how can I be part of it? The paradox is powerful. The more you disappear into your purpose, the more visible you become in her heart. So stop trying to revolve around her. Build a world so rich, so driven, so unapologetically yours that she can't help but want to orbit around you. Now, comment below. I live for my mission. She's welcome to join the journey. Number 7. She feels your energy, not your gifts. Stoicism. You can buy her flowers. You can take her to the finest rooftop bar in the city. You can write poetic messages or surprise her with grand gestures. But none of it will matter if the energy behind it is weak, because a woman doesn't fall for what you give. She falls for who you are in silence, in presence, in the unspoken strength that fills a room before you even open your mouth. Gifts are external, but your position, your masculine energy, your internal status, those are the invisible forces that speak louder than any bouquet ever could. Think about it. 2 men give the same gift. One gives it with quiet confidence, calm eyes, and no need for validation. The other gives it hoping she'll like him more. Same gesture, completely different effect. Why? Because women don't respond to the gift. They respond to the frequency you emit when you give it. Robert Cialdini's psychological principle of authority and internal status proves this. People are more influenced by those who radiate confidence, certainty, and quiet dominance than those who offer more, but feel like less. A woman might accept your roses. She might thank you for the dinner, but if your energy screams, "Please like me," she'll feel the imbalance, and slowly the attraction fades, not because you were unkind, but because your offering lacked weight. Real masculine presence doesn't beg to be seen. It already knows it's enough. This is why you must stop thinking of acts as the currency of connection. They are merely the amplifiers of the energy behind them. If the foundation is weak, the gift crumbles. If the foundation is strong, Even silence becomes unforgettable. Here's what to do. Next time you plan something for her, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this to impress her or to express myself? If it's rooted in desperation, wait. Center yourself first. Stand tall, speak slow, look her in the eyes without needing to entertain her. Then, whether it's a gift, a touch, or a simple word, it will carry gravity. Invite her into your world with presence, not persuasion. For example, don't say, I hope you like this. Say, this reminded me of your energy. Don't ask, do you like where we're going? Say, this place calms my mind. I thought you'd enjoy it too. See the shift? You're no longer asking for approval. You're radiating direction, and that's what she craves more than any object. A man who doesn't give to gain, but gives because he's full. As Seneca once wrote, be the man you wish to become, not the man others wish you to be. And the man of internal position gives from overflow, not emptiness. She won't remember the price of the gift, but she'll never forget the way she felt when she was around your energy. Now, speak with truth and comment below. She doesn't need my gifts, she feels my presence. Number 8, the power of sexual confidence, owning your desire without shame. Stoicism. She doesn't want a perfect man. She wants a man who owns his desire without apology, without seeking her permission, and without performing to earn her affection. Sexual confidence isn't about techniques. It's not about looks. It's not about how many women you've been with or how much she compliments you after. It's about your energy, the unshakable calm you carry, the quiet fire in your eyes that tells her, I know what I want and I'm not afraid of it. Because when you walk into a room, your confidence arrives first. It lingers in your posture, in the weight of your presence, in the silence between your words. And when she feels, that truly feels, that you don't need to say much more. You see, a woman doesn't feel safe with a man who tiptoes around his own desire. If you're constantly asking, is this okay? Do you like this? Are you sure? What she hears is uncertainty. What she feels is the burden of having to lead the interaction. That's not attractive. That's exhausting. Real sexual confidence is about ownership, not arrogance. It's about standing fully in your masculine energy while holding space for her to remain in her feminine. You don't force her into connection. You invite her into it by your unwavering presence. Think about it. If you radiate desire, but your energy is full of shame, guilt, or fear of rejection, she feels that. But if your desire is clean, grounded, and free from expectation, she leans in. Here's how to live this. In your daily interactions, look into her eyes and hold your gaze not as a tactic, but as a reflection of presence. Speak slowly, move with intention. Say something like, I love the way your eyes wander when you're thinking. It's like watching someone dream with their eyes open. Then say nothing more. Let the silence breathe. Let her feel the tension. In intimate moments, focus on your body, your breath, her energy, not on the outcome. If she pulls away, don't react. Smile. Say, all good. I'm here when you're ready. No tension, no pressure, just calm confidence. In your lifestyle, build the man who doesn't need her to validate him. Work out not for vanity, but to command your physical energy. Pursue your goals not to prove worth, but because you live with purpose. A man who trains, grows, and creates doesn't ask for confidence, he becomes it. And when that man touches her, it's not the act that seduces her, it's the energy behind it, that I want you, but I don't need you energy that makes her melt. As Marcus Aurelius said, receive without pride, let go without attachment. To own your desire without shame is to lead without pressure. To feel deeply, yet remain grounded. She'll remember how you made her feel, not just in moments of passion, but in the stillness between them. In the way your presence said, you're safe to feel, I'm not going anywhere. And that is unforgettable. Now pause and comment below. I own my desire. I lead without shame. Women are not convinced by logic. They are drawn into an emotional state where you have nothing to prove. You are who you are, and your presence is a force of attraction. No chasing, no acting, and absolutely no begging. They don't want a nice guy. They want someone real, someone with a mission, someone they can't control but can't take their eyes off. So if you've ever been overlooked, predicted, ghosted after a week of sweet talk, you've probably given her everything, except what she really wants. If you find this video exposing some truths that no one wants to say, subscribe, ring the bell, and comment below just one thing. I don't need to be chosen. I am the one she can't ignore. See you in the next video from Stoic Love, where attraction doesn't come from effort, it comes from inner control.